So today, you're going to get to know a puma. And I don't have one of these animals here with me. It's not going to be a puma like this. It's going to be a puma as in a presentation's underlying message architecture to relate to your presentations that you're working on. And we're going to be really relating the underlying structure that this author, Dan Rome, provides in this book on making extraordinary presentations to your presentations. So this is actually a real strategy that is used in the business world. It's not specific to schools, and we're going to use it to elevate your presentations. So the agenda for today, first we're going to meet the puma. It's not going to look like this. And I'm going to show you a short clip on this strategy. While you're watching this clip, I want you to think about how the puma can help you with your presentation, and think about what questions you have about the puma. So after we watch this clip, we're going to do a say something in which you have to talk to your partner about how the puma can help you and what questions you have. So take a moment and maybe jot these questions down so you remember them during the video. If you can keep this in your head, Frida, these two questions in yellow, you can do that too. I just want you to know what your responses are for these two questions. Oh, are you remembering one and the other? So that's strategy. Sure. Have your eyes on me, or actually on this puma when you are finished, so I know you are done. So just look at this adorable baby animal. Okay. Now keep looking at this animal because I'm going to show you our puma, and it's going to be a lot less cute. But much more helpful. So this is going to be our puma, and it's a strategy instead of an outline for organizing your presentation. So the puma's head is the main idea, the spine is the storyline, the tail is the last hook, that last bit of pizzazz you add in, and the legs are anecdotes or supporting ideas. The author is going to talk you through this, but I just want you to think about why we're doing this and how it actually looks. For example, a main idea is as simple as, I always start with this slide when I'm teaching, so you always have the idea of the main idea in this lesson. So that's this is, right here, is the puma head for me, this whole slide. So I want you kind of thinking about that idea, and we are going to watch this nice man talk. Here we go. All right, puma time. All right, so be thinking of your questions.
As presenters, we are storytellers. We want to take ourselves and our audience from here all the way over to here. Storylines are the way we tame confusion along the way. Storylines help us make complexity tolerable long enough to be understood. To do that, our storyline needs two things. It needs a spine, tick, 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 and it needs anecdotes. Bump, 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 bump. In management consulting ease, this is called horizontal vertical storytelling. What that means is we have our main story as a horizontal line, followed by lots of anecdotes that serve as verticals underneath. The standard approach is to create an outline. We start at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4. Forget outlines. Why? Because outlines are vertical, vertical, vertical. They go from top to bottom, and we do not think that way. I prefer a livelier, more intuitive approach. I call it our presentation's underlying message architecture, otherwise known as the Puma. Our Puma looks like this. We start with the head. That's our main idea. Then we put in the spine. That's our main storyline. Then we add in legs. Those are our supporting ideas, as many as necessary. Nobody's counting. And we end with a tail, the last hook. The Puma gives us a great way to build our storyline. We begin with a summary of our main idea. Then we block out the spine with our storyline. We add in our supporting materials as the legs, and we conclude with a swish of the tail. For example, here's the Puma of a classic story. Boy meets girl. This is the tale of a typical Hollywood romance. There is a boy, he meets a girl. The boy is carefree, the girl is lovely. The boy is smitten. The boy loses the girl. How? Mr. Evil arrives. Mr. Evil steals the girl away. The boy is devastated. The boy gets the girl back. How? The boy hires an assistant. The assistant traps Mr. Evil. The boy saves the girl. And the hook at the end, the girl runs off with the assistant. For example, here's the Puma I prepared for this presentation. In show and tell, we need 4 Pumas. The report Puma, the explanation Puma, the pitch Puma, and the drama Puma. 1 Puma for every presentation we'll ever need to give. Truth, story, pictures, and a Puma. A better way to outline. Who said speaking was hard? There's more in here.
Okay, so take just 2 minutes to discuss with your tables how this can be useful to you and what questions you might have about the Puma before we actually try it.
This like instead of making a massive long outline. It's set out like that. I only get my I know what. Why is it kind of why? Yeah, and why is it kind of
It's really good variation. Sketchbook's not enough. You have to start on your arm too.
Is it okay if the presentation goes over the time limit?
By 30 minutes, 30 seconds rather, so that's okay if we're talking about like 2 additional minutes, no.
Alright,
13 minutes.
so it seems like we all pretty much understand the Puma. What questions came up that you guys had? Did anybody feel like there was still questions after they watched this video about this format? How can this be helpful to you? Why might this be helpful for your presentation at this point? Is there any reason? Because it's nice infographic? What do we think?
Actually, pretty cool.
Hmm?
It'd actually be pretty good infographic movie.
Yeah.
For infographics.
Why else though? Who here wrote an outline for their presentation? Anybody? Yeah. Is this something you could use instead?
Yeah, it could like organize our ideas better.
Yeah. So this is, it kind of shows you a different way to organize your idea and kind of how you need this main storyline. Those might be your 3 questions of inquiry and your worlds coming off of it. So I've just given you a bunch of information. I want you to fill this out for your presentation. But before you do that, can you check with your groups and make sure everybody understands how to fill out this Puma? So before we start, make sure you know roughly what goes where as a group.
So this has
Everything has
spine is like
Evidence definitely goes there. Don't you have water?
Puma or Puma?
This could be a
Then this would be like the sub question.
and this is the
wait, but
Alright,
how
so
is
do we feel good about it?
Yeah.
Gentlemen, can you close your computers for 1 minute? Does everybody understand how to fill this out? One thing that might be helpful is I'm gonna leave this clip up. This is his spine. So you can see he has, for example, I call this the Puma, and then he has his breakdown of more details underneath, which would be the legs. So up here is always the main idea, and then here is more detail about the main idea. So we want you to take 5 minutes to fill this out for your presentation, and actually instead of presenting your whole presentation today, you're just going to be presenting your Puma. So these basic points without the frills, without all the images and the extra cupcakes and whatnot. There's a reason we're doing this. Sometimes when you get all these cool toys, all these apps, all these visuals, you lose touch of your base and how it all relates to your main idea and your storyline. So instead of really going through all your cool, amazing images and your comics, which I know you all have, today we're just going to look at making sure you have the backbone and the core of your presentation. So take 5 minutes now to fill that out and discuss with your groups how you would present that.
I think our plan is because what's important, the thing is we're like taking a process, so first we're like wondering, and then we're like trying to find the answer.
Oh yeah, you can do it on the back.
Like, or you can figure out your own.